Okay, so beautiful day outside. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on the Volvo. I'm gonna install the BC Racing coilovers, and we're gonna see how that goes, if there's any issues. But I'm also going to install the camber and caster end links for the rear of the car. So these are from Hard Race. They're actually for the EVO 1 to 3. But they fit on the Volvo, or at least they should fit on the Volvo. We'll see if they do. But yeah, so let's jack up the car and get to installing. Okay, so the car is up in the air, the wheels are off. It should just be these two bolts that are right here that is holding the actual coilover in place. Then of course it's gonna be these three nuts up here. You have the brake line, ABS sensor right here. And yeah, and after that the coilover should come out. Of course, these are, I wouldn't say rusted in place, but they don't look good, so probably gonna be hard to get out. Okay, so on the sway bar end link right here, on the nut here, it's a nut and then it's a torque screw in the threads. So I actually had a new one that I got when I bought the car. I don't know how well you're gonna see it, but so yeah, it's the same end link, but I can see clearly here that it's torques inside of the threads here. So I need to have like a normal wrench and a Torx to hold it in place and then unscrew it. I was not able to see that with all the rust and shit that's on that nut or on that bolt. But yeah, I'm gonna see which Torx fits this one, put it in there and then unscrew it. Okay, it's breaking loose. Finally. Okay, so I have this metal brush. I'm gonna try to brush the nuts off, or brush the dirt off the nuts so the socket sits better. Also, I can go with a proper socket. Okay, so the bolt is out finally. It wasn't as bad as the sway bar end link, but it was on there really tight. So now we just have the other bolt left, the one down here. So just to remove that one, and then I think the coilover should come out. The final bolt is finally out. I put these top strut bolts back, so I'm just gonna loosen them, and then the entire coilover should just come out. We'll see how easy that goes.
What was it?
Okay, so here is the new coilover, the BC Racing versus the Volvo one, the Volvo Sport one. Yeah, I mean, the difference in height is a lot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get the BC Racing coilover a little bit taller. Unfortunately, I forgot to measure from the ground up to the wheel arch how much distance there is. But so I won't be able to measure how much of a drop that the car gets, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter too much. So I guess we'll just see how it looks on the car. Okay, so I'll be installing the coilover right now. I'm gonna install it in the top first. So I'm just gonna push it up through and then tighten it loosely with the top bolts. So I'll do that.
In California, for every 10,000 cheap handguns sold each year, roughly 2,200 have shown up in crimes. It is an explosion that has caught even veteran law enforcement officers by surprise.
The coilover is installed in the car. I have yet to put everything together back to spec. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna raise the lift here so that when I tighten the bolts, everything is tight to like how the car is gonna sit normally. So I'm just gonna lift it up. I'm gonna lift it up a centimeter or two, something like that, so that you have some preload on the bolts, and then I'm gonna tighten them to spec. Okay, so subwoofer is out of the car. Now it's just to remove the battery and a few of the other cables, power cables, and try to clean that mess up, and then we're good to go. There we have the suspension, the rear coilover. So I think I'm gonna start on the other side. It was quite easy removing the inner lining or the inner carpet. It wasn't so hard. Working on the inside of this car is way easier than working on the outside of it, but I guess that's how it is with all cars, working on the interior. But it's really simple. So I'm gonna start to remove this part now, and then we'll get to working on the coilovers. Alright, I am 3 days into a 2-hour installation, so we're feeling really good. I finally got the last suspension arm or camber, or this is toe, so the final toe arm out. So everything is actually out now, so that is really nice. It was a struggle getting the toe arm out, this little one. The bolt was just stuck in there, but it's finally out. Had to hammer it out, use some WD-40. Everything is out, even the suspension. So now it's just time to reinstall everything. The other side should be way faster since I know what I'm doing now, but we'll see how long time that takes. Here's the difference between the different camber links or camber camber arms. So of course this one is adjustable, so you will be able to make it longer. But I mean, the bushing is in this looks it looks destroyed. Comparing it to this, looks very nice, very clean. Yeah, I'm gonna be super excited to be putting this in the car and feeling that difference, but also being able to adjust the rear suspension. Okay, so finally everything is installed after way too long time. It's all in there. So yeah, but it took way too long. 4 days to install 4 coilovers. That is insane. But it's all in here. Looks like a race car in the trunk. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is put on the wheels and then take it for a spin. I'll see how it drives. Unfortunately, the camber arm is just way too short, and so I'm gonna have way too much camber in the rear, but I'll see how I fix it. Yeah. Okay, this is the car when it's on the ground. It actually is like, it's almost perfect, I would say, with the height. It's definitely lower. You can not really get a shoe in. I mean, if you like angle it, you can get it in. But yeah, no, it looks good. Looks great. I mean, I don't like the camber, but yeah, no, the height is nice. However, on the front, it's just way too much, way too big wheel gap. Okay, let's drive it. Okay, so I've taken it for a spin, and I mean, the difference is huge from the factory suspension. It's not even that rough. I thought the ride was gonna be rough as hell, but the BC Racing coilovers are, I mean, they're working amazing. They're super comfortable over bumps, and then in the corners when you're driving hard, that's when you feel that they are better. But then we're like just driving around normally, casually, they're not rough at all. And I have the pillow ball suspension, or pillow ball top mount in the front. I had the Volvo sport suspension from factory, and so it's a little bit it's definitely rougher when you're driving, but upgrading from that suspension to this suspension was like, there was like no difference in how rough it is over bumps. But when you're driving hard in the corners, that's when you notice that you have way better suspension. So I'm super happy with the results of these coilovers. I'm just waiting to get them aligned, or I'm waiting to get a wheel alignment, so I can drive properly, or with the proper settings. Because right now the steering wheel is a little bit crooked. But yeah, other than that, it works great.